When I was around 8, my family moved into a bigger house. It was a beautiful, sprawling home with a large garden and plenty of space for us to grow. My parents were thrilled, and my siblings and I couldn't wait to explore every nook and cranny. A dream come true, right? We'd always lived in smaller apartments, so this was a big change for us. The excitement was palpable, and we spent the first few days unpacking and decorating our new rooms. But as soon as we settled in, I started noticing things. At first it was just a feeling, a sense that something was off. The house was old, with creaky floors and drafty windows, but this felt different. Shadows where there shouldn't be any, moving in ways that defied logic. They seemed to dance along the walls, flickering in and out of existence, faint figures drifting through rooms, barely visible but undeniably there. They were like wisps of smoke, almost transparent, but with a presence that sent chills down my spine. They'd stand, watching me, like they were waiting for something. Their eyes, if you could call them that, seemed to bore into my soul, leaving me feeling exposed and vulnerable.
Everyone brushed it off. My parents, my siblings, even our neighbors. They all said the same thing. "It's just your imagination," they'd say. "Old houses make strange noises." Or, "You're just adjusting to the new place." So I learned to keep quiet. I didn't want to be seen as the weird kid, the one who was afraid of shadows. I stopped mentioning the shadow people, the faces that sometimes appeared only to vanish. They would show up in mirrors, in the corners of my vision, always just out of reach, but they never stopped appearing. No matter how much I tried to ignore them, they were always there, lurking in the background. And one night, they came closer than ever before. I woke up to find them standing at the foot of my bed, their forms more solid than ever. What happened next would change everything. The shadows reached out, and in that moment I knew my life would never be the same.
Years passed, and I went off to college. I figured those visions would stay behind, locked in that house, just a weird childhood memory. But I was wrong.
Late at night I'd hear whispers, soft, almost like the breeze, but unmistakable. Sometimes I'd catch glimpses of people, moving down the dormitory halls even though it was empty. And then, one night, I saw something that changed everything.
By then, I was just numb to it. I figured maybe it was stress or lack of sleep until I got an internship.
The company I interned for was in an old building with a tragic past. It had been bombed in World War II, and before that served as a place where young kids were held. Little did I know, my time there would uncover something far more sinister. Something that would change everything.
One afternoon, I was getting hot water for my coffee. It was a routine I had grown accustomed to, a small break in the middle of a hectic workday. The office break room was usually a place of solace, a brief escape from the constant hum of computers and the clatter of keyboards. That's when I saw him. At first I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, a figment of my imagination brought on by the stress of deadlines and endless meetings. A little boy in a faded blue outfit playing at the corner of my boss's secretary's desk. His clothes looked like they were from another era, adding to the surreal nature of the moment. I stared, confused, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. Why was there a kid in the office? It made no sense. Our office was a professional environment, not a place for children. The boy seemed out of place, like a character from a different story who had wandered into the wrong book. He looked as surprised to see me as I was to see him. His eyes widened, and for a moment we just stared at each other, both of us caught off guard by the unexpected encounter. Our eyes locked, both of us frozen in that moment. It felt like time had stopped, and the bustling office around us faded into the background. There was something almost magical about the way we connected in that brief instant. I convinced myself I'd imagined it, just another one of my episodes. I had a history of seeing things that weren't there, especially when I was under a lot of stress. I shook my head, trying to clear the image from my mind. But I kept seeing him, always in the same spot, sometimes inside my boss's empty office. It was as if he was tied to that particular area, unable to leave. Each time I saw him, I felt a strange mix of curiosity and unease. Then one day my boss saw him too. He walked into his office and came face to face with the boy. The look on his face was one of pure shock, as if he had seen a ghost. He burst out of his office, pale as a ghost, telling everyone about a boy sitting in his chair. His voice was shaky, and he kept glancing back at his office, as if expecting the boy to reappear at any moment. My fellow interns gathered, buzzing about it, but I was busy and caught only part of the story. The office was abuzz with speculation and theories, each more outlandish than the last. Some thought it was a prank, while others whispered about ghosts and hauntings.
Oh yeah, I've seen him too. It was a casual remark, but it sent a ripple through the group. If more people had seen the boy, then it wasn't just a figment of our collective imagination. Whose kid is he anyway? The question hung in the air, unanswered. No one knew where the boy had come from or why he was there.
No one brings their kids here. The boy disappeared. It was as if he had never been there at all. The office returned to its usual routine, but the memory of the boy lingered in the back of our minds.
But that wasn't the last time we saw him. The next time, he wasn't alone. The thought sent a shiver down my spine. If the boy wasn't alone, then who or what was with him? And what we saw next changed everything. It was a moment that would alter our perception of reality and leave us questioning everything we thought we knew. But that is a story for another time. Stay tuned. The mystery was far from over, and we were only just beginning to uncover the truth. That's when it hit me. The boy wasn't alive, but he looked so real, so solid. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Over time, I learned something from all those sightings. At first I thought they were just hauntings, restless souls trapped in places they couldn't leave. But now I wonder if they were trying to tell me something. In the end, I learned to trust myself. It wasn't an easy journey, but it was a necessary one. Trusting oneself means embracing both the light and the shadows within. To listen to the whispers, the signs, the subtle nudges that guide us. These whispers often come from the most unexpected places, urging us to pay attention. The feelings that I used to brush off as just imagination, I now see as messages, spirits or memories, whatever they were. They held wisdom. They taught me the value of facing what's within and around us, no matter how frightening it may seem. Confronting our fears is the first step to understanding them. And sometimes we're meant to see things that others can't. These visions or insights are not just random, they have a purpose. They help us to understand a little more about life and about ourselves. Each vision, each feeling is a piece of the puzzle. Trust what you see and honor what you feel. These are the keys to unlocking deeper truths about our existence. In the quiet moments, when we are alone with our thoughts, we find clarity. Embrace these moments, for they are the gateways to understanding and peace.